crazy pixel.
SaGa Frontier Remastered is here, and with it comes a brand new scenario line for Fuse along with some other quality of life updates. The game's character sprites have received a facelift, and there's been some refining done to the game's balance. However, I wanted to shed some light on the untraditional systems that this JRPG presents. Given that a new generation of gamers might stumble upon it, I felt I'd offer a heads up on how this will differ from any other game you've played. No hand-holding. I should get this out of the way first. SaGa Frontier is an exceptionally difficult game. In retrospect, it's more like a puzzle RPG because you will constantly be asking yourself if you're even doing the right thing as you make your way through some random dungeon that you found. The remastered version fixes this in many ways by charting your active quests and pretty much telling you what to do, but between those scenarios, you're expected to do more if you hope to survive the last few encounters. Advanced Magic Spells. During the adventure, you'll encounter shops that offer magical abilities. These can be learned by human characters if they have the gift for that group of spells. During your first quest, you may totally pass this magic up and not understand anything about it. This is fine, but when you want to get serious, you can take on the quest to acquire arcane and rune or even time magic, which varies slightly depending on which scenario you're playing through. Timing is also important as some magic requires you to progress the story to a specific part. However, some protagonists can even miss their window entirely. As you play through the 8 adventures, you'll slowly begin to understand how to manage your playthroughs. This works in your favor because a playthrough for each protagonist can be completed in about 5 to 6 hours. Forming parties and learning techniques. During any playthrough, you'll acquire many different characters, humans, robots, and even monsters. Human party members can be broken down further into a specific job class and whether or not they are a mystic. It's important to keep your parties balanced to ensure that members learn techniques, which is required to use their skills in battle. Techniques are learned at random, but not every character can learn every technique, so don't go in trying to teach DSC to Aesolus. It just won't happen. It may take a few playthroughs to get the most out of your parties, but taking time to understand each character will open the door to more adventures. A bit of advice would be to always have 2 open ability slots, so go into your menu and seal techniques that you aren't using to learn even more. No levels, just ranks. After the first couple of battles, you'll notice that your characters aren't gaining levels. Instead, they're gaining strength, vitality, WP, etc. This is one of the more confusing aspects of SaGa Frontier because these ranks affect more than just your character. Enemies in the game will match your rank to scale the difficulty. Further, some dungeons even force a rank or 2 higher than your party just to make things more challenging. Your party rank is determined by the rank of your party, so if you want an easier time, switch in some newer party members. This rank also affects the final boss of a scenario, so keep that in mind when you're grinding for techniques. You won't see everything in one playthrough. From the first time you play through the game, you'll notice that some areas are blocked off to you, or you'll enter a new area and only explore a portion of it. Don't worry though, each scenario incorporates these areas, so even if you're fighting the last boss, but you're thinking about the scrapyard or some locked door that you didn't get to, you'll get there eventually. The entire world of this game will open up at some point, but you'll need to break the habit of seeing everything in one playthrough. You'll often travel to a new area and won't be able to access anything, forced to just go back to your ship and go somewhere else. Don't be discouraged, you'll see everything soon enough. So if I should reiterate, the game's difficulties are mostly led by how untraditional this title is. However, it is a great experience for those looking for a JRPG unlike anything they've ever played before.